Hello everyone, welcome to Thursday Thinks number 3. So, Thursday Thinks number 3, here we go. What can we talk about today? Well, so all of my herd are rescues. So I wanted to talk about that a bit today. So rescued as in 4 of them are from the Blue Cross. And one is from something different. I'll tell you about him in a minute. So, but let me tell you a bit about what it was like for me, and what I thought before, what I thought after. So before I had my herd, I had looked previously about having rescue horses, and it was something that I'd always wanted because we'd always had rescue animals. Guinea pigs, rabbits, you know, everything that we could think of we'd usually have as rescues. Why buy something when there's that animal somewhere in a home, a rescue centre, needing a home, and we could give it a good one. So when it came to the time when I decided that I wanted to have a horse, I did a lot of research into Charities, but I was also told a lot of things by a lot of people. These are people who I quite often clash with now, and my opinions they probably think were incredibly weird. So I was told that all rescues would be badly abused, that they would be very hard to handle, they'd have behavioural issues, they'd have health issues, you'd probably never be able to ride them. If you did, you'd probably get thrown off every 2 minutes because it's had some sort of something go on. And what I thought about rescues was that I would have something that needed a lot of love, that there would be a lot of things that I'd have to work through, that it would expand my knowledge, and at that time I don't think I was ready for it. I really wasn't, and that's highlighted to me, especially now knowing what I do know compared to what I knew at that time. So I didn't end up getting a rescue horse for my first horse. I ended up getting the Major, but I sort of class him as a rescue horse because he was from a trekking centre by Longleat. I'll be putting up a video about Meet the Major soon enough, so hold on, I will give you all the information about him in there, but just a little bit of information about him now. So he was from a trekking centre. The trekking centre was going to be closed down because the lady couldn't look after the horses anymore. She had a lot of them, and they were all, some of them were in really bad states. He was a bit more looked after because he's very easy to handle and was very easy for her to put people on as paying clients. So he ended up being just a little bit better looked after. However, you'll find out in the Meet the Major video that he wasn't all that okay. So I ended up getting him. Now, when we knew that we were moving and we were getting a bit more space, I decided that I was going to take the leap. I wanted to expand my herd, which was 2 at the time, because I had the Major and the Grey Lady, and I thought, why not? Why not look at a charity? I'd done some work in the Legacies department at the Blue Cross, had a lot of conversations with them about the Blue Cross and the homing programme, and I even did a day's work experience in the horse centre, the horse rehoming section, and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. So knowing what I did and after having these conversations, I decided to put an application and say I would like to look at some of your youngsters, of the mindset that the youngsters would have very little issues with them. The Blue Cross were likely to know just that little bit more information because hopefully they were coming with their mothers or in groups of similar youngsters, so there was less unknown in my mind. So we ended up initially getting Pagan, or choosing Pagan. She was a month old when we saw her. There'll be another video, Meet Pagan, so there's more information there that will be coming up soon enough. It's already recorded, we're just getting it edited now. So we ended up getting Pagan, decided that it wasn't right just to have the one, so then we looked at Egypt and ended up having him. So they were our two first rescues, as it were. Pagan was born at the Blue Cross, so technically she's not actually been rescued from anything. She's not known any real hardship or anything in her life, but because she's from the Blue Cross, people class her as a rescue horse or pony, whatever, which is fair enough. But there's nothing wrong with her. I know her full history. I know everything there is to know about her, and she's from the Blue Cross. When it comes to Egypt, we know a fair amount about him. He was 18 months old when I got him. I know a fair amount about him as well. Again, Blue Cross, youngster, know a lot about him now. But initially, I suppose there are some small gaps, but nothing that should truly affect him in the future. So once we had those two, we then lost the Grey Lady. There'll be a video about her as well. I'm doing a whole series about Meet the Herd, so I hope you'll watch those when they come out. So we lost the Grey Lady, and after a time we realised that we needed a matriarch figure in our herd. So what we did is we went back to the Blue Cross again and said, look, we're looking for a mature lady to help with the herd, to help the youngsters grow up, put a bit of discipline where they need it, you know, kick a boot in every now and then when they're misbehaving, because I can't be out there all the time. And unfortunately the Major, whilst he was very, very good at putting Egypt in his place, he was the softest pudding ever going when it came to Pagan. And whilst that's what she needed at the time, if it was the same situation now, girl needs the kicking every now and then. So we decided to get Midnight. Again, video about her coming up, stay tuned. Midnight is a different story entirely. So Midnight is 14 and she has been through stuff. She's been through stuff. And that has actually been a real eye-opener for me, and it has been an absolutely beautiful, amazing, eye-opening journey. And through her I've learned so much about what it is like, what some horses have had to experience, and how cruel some humans just really are. Really are the worst animals on the planet, we are, but put that to the side. Let's not get too heavy. So she has obviously been through a lot. She was very much a I don't exist, don't talk to me, don't even look at me kind of mare when we got her. Now she's bright as a button because we've shown her the love, and she really appreciates every gesture, every bit of love that she gets, and it has been an absolute joy to see her change from being so shut off from the world to now being so open and engaged, and we can now ask more of her. And yes, okay, it's a journey that's taken 2 years so far, but we never intended anything for her other than that she'd be given a lot of love. So that's worked for us, and that she's probably the type of horse that people probably initially were thinking of when I said I wanted to have rescues way back when. Because yes, okay, she has tendencies that will probably be classed as dangerous to the untrained person, to the untrained eye, but I see it and go, okay, you're not comfortable with that, let's work through it. And we have conversations and we get there and it's fine. But again, I wouldn't have had that experience and knowledge when I first started. So it's been swings and roundabouts. We've had youngsters who have been absolutely fine. We've had older ones which have been through a bit more. But then again, if you talk to the Blue Cross or any horse rehoming charity, you'll find that they even have horses like the Major who come through who might not have been neglected or abused in any real fashion. It might just be that that person wants their horse to go to the right home, so they do a home-to-home rehoming. So the horse is rehomed from your home, and you know that the charity will make sure that that horse is well looked after, goes to a vetted person who meets such high standards of care and that if that person cannot carry on looking after that horse, they'll go back to the Blue Cross, and the Blue Cross will find them an even better home. So I can see why people have said what they said in the past, but also it's like, if you go and buy a horse, you don't know what you're getting. You can see what you see on the day that you try it and go and meet it for the first time, but when you get it home, it might be a totally different creature. It's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. But you might find actually that you're getting your horse from the rehoming centre. You know more, and it's more truthful, because they're a charity, they're an organisation. They've got nothing to gain by telling you lies. In fact, they've got more to gain by telling you the truth, because of PR reasons. So if they're honest and say this horse has these tendencies, or they even don't rehome that horse and they hold on to it because it's got dangerous behaviour or health issues or anything like that, you're more likely to know what you're getting. So that was quite a spiel. So sorry, it's a bit heavy. So what has it resulted in for me as an owner, as a person so privileged to have 5 horses? Oh, I forgot to talk about Spring. Oh my god. Little Spring, I missed that Little Spring. So Little Spring is a miniature Shetland. We got her after we lost Princess. There'll be a video about Princess, there'll be a video about Spring. You get the picture by now. So when we lost Princess, we realised that we still needed a miniature Shetland in our lives. Miniature Shetlands are absolutely characters, and we couldn't imagine not having a herd with a miniature Shetland in. So when we felt it was ready and the herd was ready, we contacted the Blue Cross again. There's a theme here. And said, we're looking for a miniature Shetland, something that has been through a few things like age, something older that doesn't need too much attention. And we ended up with a 4-year-old, because that's how I do life. So we now have 3 youngsters to deal with, all technically rescues. And like I said, there'll be a video about Spring, so there'll be more information about her, but she come from a home that had technically abused her, although there's not actually anything really wrong with her, other than the fact that she hasn't truly been trained in any way, and can take a lot of things for granted, or has a bit of an attitude about things, which is something we're working through. We've had her for an entire year. We're working through her because she's a totally different personality to deal with. I'll be doing a live event about personalities in the future, possibly next week. I'll see how I feel, see what goes through my mind when I'm boo picking and stuff, because, you know, that's what I do. So, for me, how has it resulted? How have I felt having rescue horses? Well, I felt absolutely privileged to have them and have the bonds that I do with them. It is a true connection with sometimes a horse or pony that has known true evil, and they still give you their trust, or you've earned that trust, and that is something that you cherish, and it has resulted in me becoming overprotective of my herd. I will go charging after BT blokes who are in my field, who have no authority to be there, no right, but they've just decided they can do because, oh look, there's a pole over there. No, I've got horses in here. You shouldn't be going in a field with any animal in it without the acceptance, agreement, approval of the owners. And my horses are technically classed as dangerous, and you're in the field. It's not sensible. So we've had several words with BT Openreach, but you know, it has to be done, and it also means that anybody who comes on the property where my horses are, I'm all, okay, you need to go around my horses, you need to ask me first. You need to tell me what exactly it is you need me to do, what you need to do, so I can make sure everybody is safe. But in the back of my mind, it's not me I'm worried about, it's not that person I'm worried about, it's my herd. It is Midnight, who has been through hell and back, and she needs safety and security. She needs to know that she is safe in her own land of her own track with her own herd without weird people popping up that she doesn't know who could do God knows what to her. It does set her back in her development, in her coming out, in herself, and we can see it in her personality when people have been there that she wasn't prepared for, that I wasn't around for, or any other member of my family, where she knows that that person is fine. That guidance from us to say this person is okay, you're okay. If she doesn't have that, it can really upset her. And also with the youngsters as well, they can get really upset about the fact that there's somebody there that they don't know, or even the major. They can all get quite upset, which means I get overprotective, which means I become the crazy horsey lady who don't let you in a field. But that's what I feel I have to do, and I'm happy to do it for their mental well-being, their physical well-being, and the well-being of everybody else. Because at the end of the day, on the legal side of things, I am liable for any damage that happens to the person, to any member of my family as a result of any incident, because that person's been there and not supposed to have, or any damage to the property or the land. That is my responsibility. So I take it very, very seriously, and it hasn't made me very popular, but I don't care. So whilst it does make me protective, there is times when my own fears come up, where I'm afraid to do something because I know that it could upset my horses, but at the same time I need to work through it so that that fear doesn't control me. So sometimes I just have to put my big girl pants on and get on with life. Some things just take that little bit longer, just with everybody else. Fear is something difficult to work through, but we always have to do it. So yeah, it's not easy, but it is so rewarding having rescues, and it's something that I will be doing going forward, supporting the charities that do rehome horses or any other animals, because they do amazing work, and there are too many animals in this world that are mistreated by humans. So quite a heavy live event today then. So as I say, all of mine are, or all bar one, are from the Blue Cross. Doesn't mean I exclusively support Blue Cross, it just means that they were the most convenient at the time, or the people that I was already speaking to, or had already been vetted by them, so it just made things a bit faster. In the future doesn't mean that I wouldn't go to any of the other horse charities, World Horse Welfare, Brandsby, Red Wings, anything. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that going forwards, my horses, ponies, miniature Shetlands, whatever comes my way, are very likely to have come from a charity. And that says a lot, considering I can get quite anxious around my horses when they're acting up, or they're getting scared, or they can turn me into an overprotective mother hen. But yeah, it is well worth it. So if you want to look into rehome a horse from a horse welfare charity, I'm happy to chat to you, or point you in some directions of who you should speak to or what you should be thinking about. As I say, there's going to be a series about Meet the Herd, so I hope you're going to check that out. It's in the works. And I think that's me for today. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and a lovely weekend. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.